You have Technical Investigator Thompson still on the stand under oath, subject to direct by Mr. Smith, and all 12 plus 2 in the box. Mr. Smith, whenever you're ready.
May I approach, have an item marked?
Please.
Equals 4, mark next in order.
Technical Investigator Thompson, showing you People's 4 from where I'm standing. During the break, were you able to review some of the footage on People's 4?
Yes.
Did you recognize the footage of camera 5 from 1582 Goodrich Road or Goodrich Drive?
Yes.
The same footage that you seized on August 18th, August 19th.
Yes.
Your Honor, I would request to play People's 4 at this time and be allowed to publish.
Mr. Cherry, any objection to playing it now but not moving into the evidence just yet?
No objection, Your Honor.
Very well. Proceed, Mr. Smith.
Technical Investigator Thompson, drawing your attention to the screen currently playing August 17, 2014. It shows 6 p.m. Is that the correct time?
There was the video was 40 minutes fast.
And what, based on the item that you brought with you today, which are screen captures, what times or clips did you note the times for?
There's a subject that first enters at 060105.
And the next time that you found or that you put on your screen capture?
Well, we've already passed the second capture. The third capture is at 061827. It appears the subject is leaving.
And the third time frame?
The next one is going to be at 06/18/50.
And the final time frame?
06/23/31.
Well, Investigator Thompson, just for a point of reference, which direction is the camera facing?
Facing south.
Now, in relation to what we're looking at, where is the BNSF shop?
Be off to the left. I think the view is obstructed by the trees.
So where the trees are obstructing the view of the shops, the BNSF building is located on that side to the left.
In that direction, yes.
Now, in the industrial park that we just saw, was there any other cameras that you were able to get surveillance footage from?
There was one at the entrance.
But as it relates to the buildings we just saw, there was no other cameras?
No.
Moving back to People's Exhibit 3, that being the map, do you recall going to Patco, spelled P-A-T-C-O, at 1265 Goodrick on August 20th, 2014?
Yes.
Fair enough, if I may approach?
Yes.
Photographs more.
People's 5 marked next in order.
I may approach the witness.
Please.
Showing you People's 5, if you could review these 2 photographs, please. You recognize the location in People's 5?
I do.
What is that a photograph of? Are those 2 photographs of?
That's the Patco, the business on Goodrich.
The surveillance footage on, or at Patco, did it face Goodrich Drive?
The cameras did, yes.
Were you able to download surveillance footage about the time frame of the murder on August 17, 2014 from Patco?
I was.
Some facts, not evidence.
Oh, no.
Now, the surveillance footage that you downloaded, what did you do with it?
I transferred the video to a DVD, and it was booked in our property room.
Now, there's some other businesses on Goodrich Drive that you're able to see on People's Exhibit 3. One is listed as Ben's Propane. Did you also download surveillance footage from that location as well?
I did.
Something called Chem Tool, spelled C-H-E-M, Tool, T-O-O-L. You're able to download footage from that location.
I don't know it by that name. Do you have an address for?
Also, Anastase Products at 1340 Goodrich.
Yes.
Was there anywhere else you recall on Goodrich Drive you were able to download surveillance footage?
No, I don't recall.
Did you also attempt to download surveillance footage from August 17, 2014 from East Tehachapi Boulevard?
And that business name is?
Is there a business by the name of Selecta, spelled S-E-L-E-C-T-A?
Yes.
Any other locations on East Tehachapi Boulevard that you recall?
No.
Now, all this surveillance footage booked into property for later use, correct?
That's correct.
Nothing further.
Mr. Terry?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson.
Good afternoon.
Excuse me a moment. I go blind otherwise. There we go. Now, you indicated that you obtained this surveillance video that we were shown earlier. Is that right?
Yes,
Were you able to identify anybody from that?
I was not.
And what was displayed here to the jury, is that the best copy that you were able to obtain?
Yes,
And you also indicated that the video appeared to be approximately 40 minutes faster than the time was when you seized it. Is that right?
that's correct. The timestamp on the recording device indicated that it was 40 minutes fast.
And when you're talking about that, you're talking about what was actually displayed on the screen. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay, so you looked at your watch and compared your time to what was on the screen itself when you were viewing it earlier and saw that it was 40 minutes faster?
yes, yes.
Okay. So we're clear, the first video that was shown, you said it was at 6 p.m. or thereabouts, is that right?
The recording time was 6 p.m., yes.
Okay. So that would have made it was 40 minutes fast, then it means that it was approximately, the actual recording time was approximately 5:20 p.m., is that right?
Roughly, yes.
Give or take.
Yes.
With regards to your work in this case, beyond gathering surveillance video and processing the scene, you were involved in that also?
Yes,
Okay. When you arrived on August 17th, is that right?
that's correct.
Okay. And did you do any type of downloads of phones that were recovered at the scene?
I don't recall doing any phones.
Okay. You weren't involved in that at all?
I don't recall working on any phones.
Okay. I have no further questions at this time, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Smith, any redirect? You step down, sir, thank you. Counsel, does he have anything of yours up here?
Yes, I believe that's People's 5, and I would request that he would be there.
People's 5, 2 photographs. Mr. Terry, any objection?
Submitted.
They'll be admitted, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith.
We'll call Detective Hearn.
Sir, to come forward, raise your right hand and be sworn.
You do solemnly state that the testimony you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on up, have a seat, please, sir. Good afternoon. Can you tell us your name and spell your last name for the record, please?
Good afternoon. It's Robert. Last name is Meyer. M-E-Y-E-R.
Your witness, counsel.
How are you currently employed?
I'm currently employed as a senior deputy sheriff with the Hearn County Sheriff's Office.
Your current assignment?
I'm currently assigned to the Robbery Homicide Division
How long have you been assigned to the Robbery Homicide Division?
for just over 3.5 years.
Detective, can you get a little closer to that mic?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
It'll move. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Ticket August 17, 2014. Do you recall receiving a homicide call-out?
Yes, I did on the 17th of August.
After you received the call-out, what did you do?
That time I dressed in a suit and drove to Tehachapi.
Who did you make contact with when you initially arrived in Tehachapi?
When I arrived at the scene, there were other officers there that were securing the scene. I entered into the crime scene area and spoke with other detectives that were there. Detective Adams was also there, and the sergeant at the time was Sergeant Simpson.
You've heard testimony today from technical investigators Moore, Thompson, and Detective Adams. Were you present when they were doing their search of the address, the BNSF shop?
For part of the search I was there. There was also some other witnesses or friends of Rob Limon, and I was speaking to them while most of the search was going on.
Now, when you entered into the BNSF shop, what were your initial impressions?
Initially, when I looked in from the outside looking into the business, I saw the BNSF work truck and then the smaller gray vehicle just to the right of that. Looked in deeper, saw Mr. Limon laying on the ground deceased. We then basically did a walk around of the facility to kind of take a quick look at the scene before we started interviewing and processing the scene.
Did you enter into the office in the shop?
I did take a look at the office, I believe from the outside of the threshold. I don't remember going into the office at that time.
Do you recall speaking with other detectives about their impressions, similar to what Detective Adams provided today?
Yes, I remember speaking with Detective Adams about what he thought about the scene, the way the office appeared. And then after our briefing, Sergeant Adams, and there was another detective there also, and we spoke about the condition of the office.
Based on that information, what were the first steps in your investigation?
The first steps were to speak with anybody, obviously, who knew Mr. Limon and attempt to collect any type of video surveillance from the scene so we could try and find a subject who was involved.
Your testimony now, just now from Technical Investigator Thompson, did you review the video that he seized and booked from Patco?
Yes, I did review that video.
What, if anything, did you do with the video?
While watching the video, I noticed that there were multiple vehicles driving eastbound and westbound on a Goodrick Road, which is an east and westbound road. In viewing the video, I took specific screen captures from the video of items I felt were important.
Your Honor, if I may approach of an item mark.
Yes.
People 6 were next in order.
If I may approach the witness.
Please. Mr. Chair, you seen those?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Showing you people 6, if you could review the pattern of photographs, please. Do you recognize the screenshots containing people's 6?
Yes, those are the screenshots that I took from the video from Patco.
Your Honor, I would request people's 6 removed into evidence at this time.
Chair, any objection?
Submitted.
It be admitted. Proceed, counsel.
Detective Meyer, can you see people straight from where you're at?
Yes, sir.
Where's Patco?
Patco is located approximately, I would say, probably 200 yards to the west of the address on Goodrick. Can't see the exact words from here, but I would say probably I believe it's going to be the area where the lighter partial is. Just below that, there's some paved area, and I believe that's going to be the business there. Yes,
Location I just circled.
yes, sir.
Now, showing you now People's Exhibit 6. As we go through this packet, if you could just provide the time that you screenshot this from the surveillance footage and just describe the photograph.
Okay, that photograph I took the screenshot from. That is the BNSF vehicle traveling westbound on Goodrick Road, passing in front of Patco. And I believe that screenshot time was 16-12 hours. I can't see that far, but I believe it's close. So it'd be approximately 16-12 hours, traveling westbound on Goodrick Road.
Showing you now page 2, People's 6.
That is a picture of a gentleman riding a motorcycle, later learned to be Jonathan Hearn, traveling eastbound on Goodrick Road just in front of the Patco. And I believe the time in that is 16-15 hours.
Page 3 of People's 6.
That is a picture of Jonathan Hearn traveling westbound on Goodrick Road just in front of Patco. And I think it's 16-17 hours, which had been 4:17, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes. Page 4 of People's 6.
And that would be a picture of Jonathan Hearn traveling on his motorcycle, again, eastbound in front of Patco on Goodrick Road. And I believe that's 16-21 hours. I apologize for the military time. It would have been 4:21, approximately.
Page 5, people 6.
That is a photograph, a screenshot again from the video from Patco, just in front of the business of the BNSF work truck traveling eastbound on Goodrick Road towards the facility on Goodrick Road, and I believe the time was 17:11, which would have been 5:11 approximately.
Page 6 of people 6.
And that is again another screenshot of the video from Patco of Jonathan Hearn traveling eastbound on Goodrick Road in front of the Patco business, and I can't see the time. I think it's approximately 17:48, which would have been approximately 5:48.
Page 7 of people's.
This is another screenshot from the video from Patco of the BNSF work truck traveling eastbound on Goodrick Road towards the facility, and it's another screenshot from the video, and westbound heading towards the facility, and I believe that's 18. I can't quite see it again.
1843.
18:43 hours, which should have been approximately 6:43.
Now, the vehicles that we've seen on Patco just now, were there other vehicles going back and forth during the time frame that you were looking at?
Yes, there were multiple other vehicles traveling east and westbound on Goodrick Road in between that time.
As part of your investigation, was one of your steps to figure out who was driving in each one of these vehicles?
Yes, sir.
Was that something you did, or you delegated to other detectives?
We kind of worked as a team with multiple detectives. There was a lot of vehicles traveling east and westbound, so I had other assistants help me with traveling to those businesses to eliminate those vehicles as being involved.
Now, all the vehicles that you saw in the Patco surveillance footage, were you able to figure out who was in the vehicles?
We did, except for one that was a red compact vehicle, and speaking with a business owner to the business just to the south of Patco, he observed the red vehicle pull into the field just to the east of his business, and there were a couple kids in the car, I believe, and they were playing in the dirt field, and then they left the area.
So as it relates to the Patco video, the only vehicle you could not exclude, as it were, is the motorcycle we've just seen.
Correct. We could not exclude the motorcycle from having some sort of business or something on that road that day.
Now, what steps at or around the time you viewed the Patco video did you take to figure out who drove that motorcycle?
At the time, we basically went and spoke with all the business owners in the area to attempt to eliminate everybody who had driven east and westbound in front of the camera. And at that specific time, we hadn't eliminated the motorcycle at that point.
Now, Goodrick Drive, if you were to drive eastbound, can you get out of that area, or do you have to turn around and come back?
Traveling on Goodrick Drive, you're going to head off of Denison Lane, traveling eastbound. It leads you actually to an area which would be similar to a cul-de-sac. Just past the facility, you would have to turn around and then travel back westbound to leave the area.
As part of your investigations, you also inquire with multiple individuals to see if anyone had a beef or an argument with Robert Limon that would have led to his death.
Yes, I did.
Who did you interview in particular?
I spoke with several of the employees who worked with Rob Limon, one of them being Corey Hamilton, and then I was also present during other interviews that were done by another detective at the time, and so I listened to those interviews at that time also.
Did you interview Sabrina Limon?
I did interview Sabrina Limon, yes.
You see her in court today.
Yes, I do.
Now, please describe her location, what she's wearing.
She's sitting at the defense table next to Mr. Terry, wearing a black or dark colored jacket.
Indicating for the record the defendant, Sabrina Limon.
When did you initially speak with Sabrina Limon following the death of Robert Limon?
That evening was pretty busy trying to get the scene process and speak with other employees who work for BNSF. I didn't, and then we started the video collection. I didn't have time to speak to her until early the following morning. I believe it was sometime after 1 o'clock.
Now, the interview that you've just spoken of, did you record that interview?
Yes, I did. I recorded it with my department-issued digital recorder.
Did you do the interview in person or over the phone?
At that time, I was still at the scene in Tehachapi, so I made a phone call to Ms. Limon.
Did you interview her a second time in the subsequent days?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall when that interview took place?
I believe that was on the 22nd of August, a few days later.
Well, these two interviews that you just testified about, what was the purpose of the interviews? What did you have in mind?
Basically, when we conduct an interview, I'm trying to obtain information about the crime, people who may or may not be involved in the crime that occurred. Basically, trying to find facts so I can put the case together.
Gratifying approach. Have an item, Mark.
Yes. One disc, two scripts.
People's Exhibit 7, 7A, and 7B, marked next in order.
Let me approach the witness, Your Honor.
Please.
Showing you People's Exhibit 7, you recognize the CD?
Yes.
There's a signature, is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the recordings on that CD to verify that those are the two interviews you did with Sabrina Limon on August 19th and August 22nd of 2014?
Yes, sir, I did.
Your Honor, I would request People 7 be moved into evidence at this time, be allowed to publish and provide transcripts to the jury.
Mr. Terry, any objection?
Submitted.
Granted, Mr. Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, in a moment, the bailiff is going to hand out a transcript of the recording. That's court ordered to help you follow along as to what you're listening to. But the actual evidence is what you hear, not what you read on the transcript. The transcript is just an aid to help you follow along. The actual evidence is what you hear. Everybody got one? All right. Counsel agree or stipulate Madam Reporter does not need to take down the auto recording in light of People 7 being marked, Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Very well. Mr. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Smith.
Detective Meyer again with Detective Tommy Robbins. I'm going to call back the phone number that called me a few minutes ago. At 1:22 a.m. I believe it's going to be Mrs. Leon. The phone number is 760-490-8828. Hello?
Hi, Sabrina Limon calling from my phone. I think she's on the phone with somebody else right now.
Okay. Can you tell her to call me back when she gets a chance?
Okay, who is this?
This is Detective Meyer.
Detective Meyer. Okay, hold on
Yeah.
Let me make sure. Hold on a second. Okay, she's ready, but I'm ready, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Okay, thank you so much.
Where's Rebecca?
Huh?
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, this is Detective Meyer with the Hearn County Sheriff's Office.
I detected what happened to my husband.
You know, I do want to give you some information real quick. Just so you know, we are recording this phone call. I'm here along with another detective from the Sheriff's Office. His name is Detective Robbins, okay? What did you say?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry, what was that?
Can you hear me now?
You know what, yeah, I can hear you right there.
Okay, is there a better phone number, like a home line
My
phone?
home line is 760
Okay,
241
okay.
8060.
Okay, I'll call you on that phone number now. Thank you. It sounded like she had just talked to Rebecca. That's the corner, right? Or not? Yeah, she just said thank you, Rebecca, or something like that. Call her home number now. Okay, this is Detective Meyer again. Okay, I need to get some general information from you. Again, I just want to remind you that we are recording this phone call. Myself and Detective Robbins is here present. And real quick, can I get your first name and spelling, please?
My first name is Sabrina, Sabrina.
And the spelling of your last name. And can I get your home address?
27250 Strawberry Lane in Hallandale, California, 92342.
And the city again is Allendale? And your zip code?
92342.
And Sabrina, what is your date of birth?
102679.
And an ID number for you, either driver's license or social security number. Thank you, Rebecca. Did you just talk to Rebecca that works for the sheriff's office?
I said, yeah.
Okay. All right, I just have some questions for you, and then we'll talk a little bit about what's going on. Now, your husband, his first name was Robert, correct?
Robert, yeah.
Okay. Now, what time did he leave to go to work? I guess it would be yesterday, correct?
He leaves about 5 o'clock.
In the morning?
Uh-huh.
And why was he coming to work in Tehachapi? Does he normally work here, or where does he usually work at?
He's a responder. He relieves when guys go on vacation or whatever. He's a relief
Okay.
responder.
Okay. And does he normally work somewhere else, or does he?
He's a car inspector in the bar store yard.
Okay. All right. And so when they need help covering, they'll call him in, and he'll come in and work here in Tehachapi or wherever. Okay. And do you know why he was working over here yesterday?
He got called. A guy asked if he could work. One of the guys needed him to cover, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure why.
And so he left.
It wasn't his regular.
Not his regular day. Okay. He left it.
He doesn't have regular days, but they do schedule the guys like they kind of break it up. With him and another guy, John Justice,
Okay. What's his normal shift he works in Barstow?
in the Barstow yard.
Mm-hmm.
He works. He has Thursday, Fridays off, and he works 7 to 3.
So he works from 7 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon?
Yes, in the Barstow yard.
And he has Thursdays and Fridays off.
Thursday, Friday.
Okay. Now, so from what you're aware, he was coming to cover for somebody here in Tehachapi, and he left the Sunday morning at 5 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay. And did you speak to him in the morning or before he left?
I had to goodbye.
I'm sorry?
I had to goodbye.
Okay.
He always wakes me up before I leave for work.
Okay. Did you have a chance to talk to him throughout the day yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe.
How many?
Little after one, and then I talked to him again, and he was on a call, and he said the train was, he was stuck on the train, and he said it was he called it the $1 million train. He said that, it was a UPS train or something where they carry all the, it's called he told me, a hot train or something, he said. And he said he was getting it going. And he said he got a sandwich and he just had to pick it up. And he ordered it, he had to get it to go. And then, I talked to him when he went back at the shop. And,
Okay, hold on a second. Let's back up a little bit. So what time did you? So when you talked to him at 1 p.m. Is that whenever he said he was working on the train and he had just gotten lunch? Do you know where he went to lunch at?
he went to, he ordered sandwiches from one of the, I think the bakery up there, he has a favorite place, he always goes there.
And do you know what the name of that place?
No, it's just like the only one there in town. Like the, he always gets a tuna melt, he tells me about it.
Okay. Now, so what time? Okay, so you talked about 1 o'clock. How long was your conversation?
Not long. I told him I'd call him back.
Okay. And then you said you talked to him later on. What was your next conversation?
You know what, if you wanted me to look, even at my cell phone, I could look.
Okay.
But then the rest of the because he actually called me on my cell phone, and it was after church, so it was about 1:30, and then I called him back from the landline and talked to him for a little bit then, and he said he was tired, and he was going back to the shop that he'd been going. He said he'd been chasing trains, and he was going to go back and take a nap, and go, they can go back and relax.
Great.
Wait for the next call, or if they get one or not. So he was going to go back, and
What time was that call?
that call was, I'm going to say, that was from my landline. So I don't have it here on my cell phone. I'm going to say about 2:30. Yeah, about 2, maybe. And then I have my girlfriend here. She said that her husband talked to him about, it was like 1:30.
Okay.
And then I talked to his mom, and his mom talked to him too. Today, she said, and I asked her what time it was, and I can't remember what she told me.
Okay. Now, so you guys talked about 2:30. You talked to him, and he said he was feeling tired and he was going to head back to the shop. Okay. And you said you also talked to him while he was at the shop, correct?
Yeah.
You know what time that was?
Yeah, he was at the shop. He said he was gonna, and so I said, lay down and take it easy. And then usually he'll call me after he wakes up. But I got busy around here, and then I called him about probably about 4:30, maybe even closer to 5. And I was gonna go to my mom's and see her. And I called him, and he
Okay, and at what point in time did you hear something from someone? Did somebody call you?
No, Danny Rodriguez and Ray Torres from the railroad, his superintendent guy, and then one of the supervisors down there that's also a friend of Robert. I was looking out the window, and they pulled up in a white Jeep.
Okay. Okay, now, as far as Robert goes, do you know if you've had any trouble with anybody?
Never.
Never?
Never. Everybody loves Robert.
Okay.
Loved him.
And so everything going pretty normal with your guys' relationship? There was no issues or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Loved him so much.
And you hadn't had, there was nobody you can think of that might be upset with him, or he's never told you before that?
No.
Okay. How about his coworkers? How does he get along with his coworkers?
Great.
Okay.
Everybody. Tell you what, everybody loves Robert. Everybody.
So no one he had never told you that he was having any issues with any of the coworkers or whatsoever? Okay. Anything you think of as a problem? Okay. Well, right now, Sabrina, we're at the very preliminary stages of this whole investigation, and we don't have a lot of information right now, so we're working on that right now. I'm actually downloading the video surveillance right now as we speak. And so we don't really know anything yet, okay?
What happened? What happened to him?
That's it. We don't know. We don't really have any information yet. We're still working on it right now. It's like I said.
Did he get? Where was he? What happened? Did they take his ass? Did they take his car? She said they didn't take his wallet. Like, why?
You know, obviously I can't answer that stuff. What type of cell phone does he have?
Like a droid, not just like a nothing, not a smart, nothing fancy, but maybe like a droid.
Okay.
Think of it as a droid.
What's that phone number? Do you know it?
760-475-7845.
Okay.
Can you find his phone?
Okay, hold on a second. It's 760-425-7845. 475.
7845.
Okay. 45. Okay, I think we did find the phone, but like I said, we don't really have a whole lot of info right now to go on, and we're working on the scene right now. I'm actually away from the scene. I'm inside another office doing the video stuff right now, so I don't even know what's going on over it yet. What we're going to do when we're done here, we'll basically do a detective's briefing and get everybody up to speed. And when I find any more information out, I'll give you a call and I'll let you know.
Please, because I want to know. I want to know.
I understand.
I don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I can't, my brain is not putting this together at all. This isn't even possible. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I just want to know what happened. I don't understand. I just want to know.
Okay. Well, as soon as I find out some information, I'll let you know. I'm really sorry, but
Thank you so much.
we are working our best right now, and we'll do our very best. And I'll call you as soon as I have more information. Okay? You do have my phone number. If something comes up, call me.
And you're a detective?
Yes.
Detective Meyer?
Correct. With the Hearn County Sheriff's Office.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, Sabrina.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. In the call at 2:14 a.m.
The record reflect, People's 7A was played for the jury. Mr. Smith?
Mayor, I would request to play the second audio contained on that CD, labeled as RN 28 from August 22nd, 2014.
Will be 7B. Any objection, Mr. Terry?
Submitted.
It'd be played for the jury. Once again, the deputy is handing out a copy of the transcript. The actual evidence is what you hear, not what you read. The transcript is an aid to help you follow along. I'm going to repeat that to you about a lot during the trial. Counsel agree or stipulate 7B does not need to be taken down by the reporter in light of 7 being marked. Mr. Terry?
So stipulated.
Mr. Smith? Thank you very much. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Smith. Everybody got a copy?
This is Detective Meyer, ID number 410301. I'm here with Detective Kevin Kimmel. It is August 22nd, 5:44, and we're here with Sabrina Limon, and we're going to talk with her about Robert Limon. And Sabrina, is it, how do you spell your first name?
Sabrinka.
And what's your date of birth?
10/26/79.
And you know your ID number? Okay. And so let's talk about Robert a little bit. How long has he worked for the railroad company?
15 years.
15 years? Okay. And how long have you known Robert?
Page 2, line 8.
Okay.
I've been around my whole life.
Okay. And how long have you guys been married?
I'm married 14 years.
Okay. And your kids are ages?
11 and 8.
And the names?
Robbie and Limon.
Okay. And so Robert's worked for the railroad for how many years? 13 years. And he works at a bar shop. What is his title? What does he do?
He's car inspector.
Okay. And what does he do?
Tehachapi, he was responder.
Okay. And what does the car, from what you know, the little bit you may know, I don't know if you guys talk about work a lot, but what does the car inspector do?
They repair. Robert worked on the trains, on the cars. He would weld. He would inspect them, and Tehachapi he would go on calls, anything that was on the track. He would change pinion gears, weld. He did it all on
Okay. And so he's based out of Barstow, and then he would work Tehachapi sometimes too, right? Now, quite often? How often did he work in Tehachapi, do you think? If you could just guess out of a month?
He would have a schedule. He would be scheduled, and that's where he made good money.
Okay.
He made better money, supervisor pay. And it was like a holiday or whatever. He'd like to get up there if he could. It would just vary. If the guys would go on a vacation, then it would be scheduled. He'd get scheduled, and if not, then he would just be called like for sick. That's sick.
Now, if you got called on a sick deal, did he get paid extra going up there?
No.
Okay, just a regular pay?
No, he gets supervisor pay, and he gets paid to drive up there, and he gets food expense, no matter what, he would get paid for food.
Because on the way after, we're like, that is a far drive to go work a shift.
He would work it quite often, but he made a lot of money, and he would take 100 back and forth, and he'd always come home, and they'd even pay for room there, but he would come home.
Yeah, okay. So he did, so they kind of, if you wanted to stay the night, they'd pay for it, so you have to drive all the.
But he never.
And he did 12 hours.
We've gone up there, the kids and I, we've gone up there a couple years ago, so I'm familiar with the shop. And if you would get a call, we could stay, and the kids could like play. But we haven't been up there, I haven't been up there for, I'm gonna say a couple years.
Okay. Now, So just to say, out of 30 days, how many days do you think he'd work up there in a month, on average? One or two shifts?
Oh, no, maybe on a slow it'd be one or two, but on busy, he could be up there for 6 days.
Wow.
So sometimes.
So he's quite frequent up there.
Maybe 5, 6 days. I mean, I can tell you, for sure, because I have some of this, schedule.
Okay. Now, his shift here, what was his schedule there? He worked 12?
No, 8-hour shift, 7 to 3.
Okay. And so his shift you do there was like overtime on the weekends or whatever?
It was a relief,
Okay.
so he relieved
Somebody else?
somebody else.
And how
he was trained.
Okay.
for-
For the like, it's kind of like a train rescue type deal.
Okay.
Train goes down, they go out and they rescue them. No, they're like rescuers, what they told me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So he worked here normal 8 to 5, Monday to Friday?
No,
Okay.
yeah, Thursday, Friday's off.
Okay. So he worked Saturday, Sunday, so he worked Saturday through Wednesday.
No.
Okay. So let's talk about this last weekend. Did he work last Saturday?
Yeah, he did.
And where did he work at Tehachapi?
Trying to think.
No problem. The incident occurred on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
So, because
Okay, yeah, okay. Saturday. No, he worked Barstow Yard Saturday.
he worked where?
Barstow Yard.
Barstow Yard.
Barstow Yard.
Did he work Friday also?
Yes, he did. Barstow Yard, I believe.
Oh, is that on Friday?
I believe so. I can confirm that.
That's okay. And so this Sunday he worked Tehachapi, just to relieve, from what you were told, to relieve a guy who took some time off.
I was under Robert J. Paul for John Justice.
Okay.
So he said, yeah, I'll take it.
So John Justice was supposed to work it?
Yeah, he was supposed to work it. They would kind of, sometimes they would even say like, oh, Corey needs a cover. Do you want it? I'm just not like, so there was just John and Robert.
Does John Justice work out of the
Robert works.
So let's talk about Sunday. He left. What time did he leave here to go to work?
You know, I'm gonna say 5:15.
Okay.
He left me right.
How long does it take him to get to Tehachapi?
About how long did it take you guys? Like an hour, 20 minutes?
Probably, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he gets there. He works at 7. Did you talk? So he left here at 5 something. What did you guys talk before he left?
No. I always just call me when you get there. Always. And I always call me when you get off. And I was going to church on Sunday. And I said, oh, I gotta get out of church. And I had Leon's little friend over here and got the girls lunch. And then we talked to Robert on my cell phone because I missed the phone, or the phone's in the other room. And my phone was back here. I always keep it back here. And then I said, oh yeah, I went to church and whatever. We good. We talked. I said, I'm ready to. Robbie was over at Leanna's friend's. She has a little brother, so Robbie was over there, and Hannah was over here, and the little girl was over here. So I said, I just want Robbie home and Leanna home, and they started school the next day, and I was just ready to have both the kids home. Because we're always going.
Right.
So
And what time did you talk to Roberts after he left? Or what time did you talk to him?
let's say 7.
In the morning? Okay.
Like around the time he gets up there, which should be a little bit before 7. Or if you want me to think really hard, maybe maybe it was 8:30 or so. Church is at 10:30. So somewhere between that time,
All right. Now, so sometime between 7 and
10.
10. Now, did you talk to me anytime later during the day?
Yeah, talked to when I got back.
And what time was that?
And it was 1-ish.
What did you guys talk about?
I just said, got back from church, and said, Hannah, I want to get Robbie back home, and I want to get things. And the girls were kind of, I said, I'll call you back. I don't know, something happened because it wasn't that long of a phone call. And then I talked to him again, and we talked about,
You know what time that was the second call?
I was trying to think about that a lot. I'm going to say it was between 1 and 2. No, because I talked to him and it was about 1 o'clock. I'm going to say then it was between, let's say 2 and 3. He was on a call, and he said he was chasing the Z train. That's what it was. And he wasn't chasing it. He was sitting in the truck, and he said it's a $1 million train. It was broke down for some reason. And sometimes it was like the silliest thing. The detector would go off. You know, I didn't pay attention for everything he said. You know, and I was like, oh, okay, well, he had to get that one back going. And then he said he was tired. He said he's been going since he's been there. I remember that, and I remember he said he went to that sandwich shop, and that's the one. You're from Tehachapi. Was the little shop, the bakery?
Charles Bakery?
Is it like downtown? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. And he said he got a sandwich, and he couldn't even take it back to the shop, and he said, well, he was done. He said he did it, and then he got it. And then he was going to get back, because they could like lay down, and they got a call, and then they could go out, but if not, there were some times where he wouldn't go out at all day long, and then there were some times where he'd be going all day,
Yo.
going, yeah, call after call, and not stop.
And so you talked to him again, and then how long was that conversation, you think?
It was longer. You know, I didn't talk to him a whole lot.
Did he say he kept talking to you or his coworkers or anything that day?
No, you know, I think Ray, or someone that he was around, he's the one who came, and I think he said he talked to him a couple of days ago, but he talked to Dax that day. He talked to his mom, and I asked what time she said about 11. And so I know, I'm going to say for sure, now I think my phone might be in the kitchen. I know for sure, because I had, I think it was in the kitchen. I know for sure because I texted him, I said, because I tried calling him, and I said,
He did. What time was that?
I'd have to look at that. I'd have to look at my cell phone because it was a little bit before I called her, and I just kind of got around here. My mom just fell and broke her hip like 2 weeks ago, so she'd just been home a couple days, and I got up to my mom's at 5, around 5-ish. So it was probably like around 4:20, 4:30, and then I didn't hear back from her, so I texted her. I said, I'm going to go up to my mom's house, and if you want to, call me on my cell. I got my phone, and Ashley even left it in the car, and didn't mean to, but I did, and I got it in there, and it was no big deal. Sometimes we would talk all the time, and then sometimes it would just be like short. We wouldn't talk. He was busy, or if he was sleeping, and he said he was going to take a nap. So I didn't call him. His bathroom room, and then I texted him, and then I could go to my phone. He didn't call, he didn't miss a call. I was just like, hey guys, we get home, you guys are going to take a shower, we're going to get cleaned up, and fed the kids dinner when I got home, And this was a little after 6. I got home, I left my parents' house. And a little after 6. So I called them, but then like picked up their kids' first day of school out and laid it down, whatever. I called him and he wasn't there. And I texted him, I'm home, call me. I'm getting the kids ready for school tomorrow. Yay. And then, still in here, I got it. And, well, he's busy. You have to be busy. Because he would, if I woke him up, if I might wake him up, when I call him sometimes, and he'd say, and then it started getting later, like 7. So, and then I kept calling, and then 7, called them, nothing. And then Leanna started, worrying the later, and I see you guys are over there early tonight, whatever. So I was definitely concerned by, 7:30 I'm calling. And by 8, like he would have been home anywhere from like 8. And I was concerned. I was thinking either he stayed on a late train or like he got in a car accident. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't like panicked out. I wasn't. I just kind of like thought like he's. But I was looking for him. Like I kept looking out the window, and Leanna asked, she wanted to talk to Robert, and I just said, I read it to him, and I was like, you guys are going to bed. So I have them down by like 8:20, and then I just kind of started just looking out the window, but I wasn't panicked, but I was thinking like, well, I don't think that if he's not home. 10 minutes, I'm going to call the Barstow Hightower. So I didn't have the Tehachapi number. He has called me from the Tehachapi responder line before the phone, but usually he just called me on his cell phone. So I didn't actually have the responder number, and I was going to look for the Hightower Barstow for the number. So I mean, eventually, call him the first time, at a time, and then
They came over here or phone?
They came over here.
Okay.
And I saw him, I was fresh across the street. So she guys walking in the driveway. And I know Danny Rodriguez.
Oh, you know him? I met him at a music meeting one time. He was his son or one of his son was playing there. Met him with Robert. I didn't know, but my brother-in-law had been injured at the railroad years ago. My brother-in-law Randy, he's the one that got Robert's job. And so I knew his face because Danny was in court, on the rail. Of course, he's the business. He's the superintendent of the railroad for the car department. And then Maria Torres is probably just when she was daughter's wedding. Okay. He was also a personal friend, but also a Robert and also a supervisor. Okay. Now, some of the questions we ask people when this is, when we have some incident like this. So you guys been married for several years. How was your guys' marriage? We had a great marriage. Okay. Do you guys ever have any problems or anything, or any issues with infidelity or anything like that on either half? No, we kind of we like to party. Nothing like nothing that would harm the kids or anything like that. But we like run the river and drinking. Robert didn't drink a whole lot, but he always stayed in control. I mean, I had started it. I just thought, and I even told her just recently, after my mom fell in her head, just trying to straighten up a little bit. And mind you, we worked, we got the house, we got the children,
But I started feeling it a little more after when I wake up in the morning and think, okay, you know, like I need to chill a little bit. I'm tired.
Right.
And we keep going. We were super social.
Okay. Now, so throughout your guys' marriage, you guys have never had any issues with infidelity or anything like that? Any issues with, like, at any point in time, did you ever think that maybe Rob may have had a girlfriend or anything?
Never.
Okay. Have you ever looked at Robert's phone? Not through his text messages or pictures or anything like that?
I found there's pictures.
Okay.
That's why I'm not embarrassed.
That's okay.
But, so, I mean, I don't know. I can show you.
What's this right here?
Yeah, I can show you what,
Sabrina, there's another question that comes to mind. You said you've looked through the pictures on Rob's phone. When was the last time you went through his phone?
I don't know.
Within 6 months, within 30
Yeah,
days?
yeah,
Okay. And the reason why I ask,
okay.
there is several pictures of naked women on the phone. Are they, and I haven't looked at them, are they of you?
Well, I know, hey, this isn't my best face.
No, I haven't seen the pictures at all. And so that's
And
why
you know
I'm
what, I can tell you that I didn't spend any time looking at them.
Yes.
I was,
Yeah.
I was just told, because I researched them really quickly, but I was told there were pictures of other women, because there were some family photos on there, and the detective that was looking at it said there are some family photos, and then there looks like there's some photos that we could see you, that they could see you in, and then photos of other things. And we're not sure if maybe those are just photos from the internet or if they're personal photos. So that's what we're asking. But, so there are some of you on there? Okay, all right. Fine.
So that's why we're asking to eliminate all that.
Like a girlfriend.
Yes.
And here's why. Because we're trying to eliminate if he did have a girlfriend, if that person may have tried to come and harm Robert. However, there's not a bunch of pictures that are different people. It's like very random. Like what I was told by the detective that reviewed him is there was pictures of you that what he thought was you. Because he could see pictures of your family pictures and stuff, and then like you go to a picture of a naked girl and then look at the face and go, yeah, that looks like her. But then there was a couple random ones, but just random. There wasn't like a bunch. There was like maybe one here or one there. There wasn't a lot. So that's why we're kind of asking. Because we're trying to limit the fact that if maybe he had a girlfriend, if her husband or boyfriend found out and trying to harm him. You know what I mean? We have to try it and reach for everything we can. So that was it. That's why we're asking. We just need to try and eliminate that's our job, is to try and find all the facts and try and come together and eliminate every possibility from happening. So that's why we're asking.
Only thing if I saw him, it might be like some of my girlfriends, just
Okay.
because, like I said,
Did you guys have an open relationship then?
no,
Just maybe out partying at the river.
party at the river,
Okay.
like, just one, and, you know.
Okay.
Those were older, I mean, I could tell you it.
Well, if it comes down to it, don't get me wrong, if it comes down to it, we may have to cross that bridge, but right now we don't have to. We're just trying to eliminate certain things, okay?
Anything you can think of to...
No, I know Robert would care again. I know he did want a gun. I know he wanted a handgun. But he would always say work would get in Arizona.
Do you want to sit down?
No.
Okay.
What do these girls,
I haven't even looked at them yet. It's just the detective told me that you're going over there to talk to her, ask her about this stuff. So that's all the information I have.
No, I'm good.
Oh, you guys, I don't know what to think.
And here's the thing that would make me think that he probably had a girlfriend, is if I would see a bunch of pictures. But there's not a bunch. There's maybe a few.
There was actually some of them that I went through that I saw of myself. This is like disgusting. And the kids never had, he didn't have a code, so like I could totally look at his phone anytime.
Okay, so we didn't have a code on, so it was open about it.
We did, yeah, we did, yeah, I mean, we just weren't jealous, and like our personalities are kind of like, we live life, we were super close, so we knew, I would talk to him all day. I'm not saying that anything is impossible, but I can't imagine that.
Okay.
And that would be devastating to me, because I have a perfect,
Record?
I have not this girl, I was the one that, Robert wouldn't get drunk and, whatever, that's why some of those I took off there, I was just like, you just, like, all that, I had too much champagne that night, that is,
It's okay, you're an adult, so that's fine.
Yeah, no, I mean, we have him here, I've never been.
Oh, wow.
And how embarrassing for my old parents to come back here, my mom, she came back here and said, Mom, look at the pictures up there, and she, oh, well, okay,
Wow. I mean, that's that'd be very interesting.
well, embarrassing, but not really, because, Robert, we just, like, Robert had so much, we just had fun together, that's all.
Well, if there's nothing there for you to suspect anything, then don't let us put other thoughts into your head.
I can't even wrap my mind around.
No, it's.
Then don't do that, but there's, like we said before, if there's questions that we had to ask, we can cross stuff off so we can move on, so we don't spend time on it. And if there's something else that comes back up, we will come and ask you regarding that. Okay? And if we don't, then don't worry about it.
Because we don't want your mind to go off and thinking that was happening.
Okay,
Because we have no
I'm going
idea.
to, 'cause
We're just asking,
because
says that's the
bad
way.
news, and I don't like bad news, so. And if I was to see the pictures, you would say, this girl.
Well, and that may be, and then later on, if that's a bridge that we have to cross, then we'll ask you to look at them. And it may not be something that we even have to deal with. Okay?
Okay.
Anything else you think of that's important at this point in time?
So you're, that's something these guys are like, why are these detectives keep asking about guns,
Because we're kind of thinking, well, we don't really know. We're all thinking right now, we're trying to put some everything in play. And wondering if maybe Robert crossed the gun into the scenario. You know what I mean?
well, I know.
Because a lot of the checks their guns. They're working the railroad, is what we were told.
Like protection up on the,
Yes.
well, and you know what I always thought? Against wild animals up there.
Mm-hmm.
He actually, there was a bear on the tracks. He had a video. And he showed everybody.
So I can tell you, if I worked there in those rural areas, I would carry a gun, even if it was against my department policy, because I'd want to protect my life versus violating a policy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of why we keep asking about that.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just like,
Don't lock your knees out because you'll pass out. We'll see you then.
okay. I haven't slept in years. I don't know. Okay.
Well, I'm going to stop the recording as of now if there's nothing else to add, and then I'll go up front. If anybody else has any questions, we'll answer them, and we can go from there, okay?
I can't thank you enough because, and I really wanted to just bring you guys out. I hope everybody feels better because, Rob's gone and there's no bringing him back, and there's been deaths in our family and stuff, and it's felt like, oh my gosh, like he touched like this is an outside boss or something. And I don't hurt like that person, and with this one, it doesn't feel real. It's just like, I feel like I have to, I'll tell him. I don't know what to think about. I don't know what to think now, at all, but I have to be strong for my kids, and I'm not like you guys really care, but I keep just telling everybody, like, throwing in the towel, I have to, I'm gonna be a good, and not that I wasn't a good mom, we were good parents. Those teachers would come in, just love kids, our family, and our friends, so it's not like the kids weren't exposed to things I believe the guns
I'm gonna turn this off real quick.
are.
It's 6:15 around the 22nd.
All right, record reflects 7B was played for the jury. Mr. Smith, time to call it a day?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, leave your notes and your transcripts on your chair, okay? I appreciate your patience. We'll see everybody back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Remember not to form or express any opinion or discuss the case. We'll see you back at 9. Thank you very much.